Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 6 and we talk about literary of Putri and the member is Rahman Nurhaliza Hari and Nabila Putri Nurhaliza. Here we go. The first speakers is Rahman. Time is yours.
Poetry is a form of written art. It contains language with quality, aesthetic, and festive meaning. Poetry can be an outpouring of one's heart and is written with beautiful words full of meaning. Poetry can contain one word or written syllables. Etymologically, the word poetry comes from the Greek word poesis, which means creation. In English, the equivalence of this form is poetry that is closely related to prose and poetry. Shahnan Ahmad in Paradoxo, 1993, second concludes. The meaning of the form contains outlines about poetry in the form of emotions, imagination, or ideas, time, writing, sensory inspiration, what other figurative forms, density and praise. Karena Giuliani defines poetry as a form of literary work that expresses thought imaginatively, is composed by concentrating all the power of language by focusing on the physical structure and inner structure.
Okay, the element of Putri, there are 6 of element. The first is the appearance of Putri. The form of Putri such as page that are not filled with words, right, left, edges, line arrangements, to line of Putri that do not always start with a capital letter and the end with a period. The second, diction. The choice of word made by the poet in his poetry, because poetry is a form of literary work in which a viewers can express many things. The words must be chosen as careful as possible. The third, arrangement of words that can express sensory experiences such as seeing, hearing, and feeling. The next is concrete words. Words that can be conjured with the sense that allow the emergence of image. For example is concrete words now symbolize the frozen love. And the next is language style, the use of language that can turn on effects and give rise to certain connotation. Language style is also called figure of speech. The kinds of figure of speech include metaphor, smile, personification, litotes, irony, euphemisms, repetition, and pora. And the last is rhyme. It is the similarity of sound in poetry, both at the beginning, middle, and the end of a line of poetry.
And also there are the inner structure of poetry. The first is theme or sense. The medium of poetry is language. The level of language is the relationship of sense with meaning. So poetry must be meaningful both the meaning, each word, line, stanza, and overall meaning. And the second is feeling. The attitude of the poet towards the subject matter contained in the poem. Disclosure of themes and feelings closely related to the poet's social and political background. For example, is education about God, religion, gender, social class, emotion, sociological, and physiological experience and knowledge. The third, tone. Tone also relates to the mood and feel. The last is maintained or attention. The message that the poet wants to convey to the reader. The next speaker is Nabila. Thank you.
Okay, here I want to explain about types of poetry. The first, narrative, lyric, and descriptive poetry. Narrative poetry expresses that poet's story or explanation in a simple, subjective, or complex way. For example, like romance, epic, and poetry. And the second, lyric poetry, is a code means of expressing personal lyric or ideas. For example, like elegy, ode, and serenade. Descriptive poetry. The poet gives the impression of an event or phenomenon that is seen as attracting the attention of the writer. For example, like satire and impressionistic poetry. And the next is chamber poetry and auditorium poetry. Room poetry is a poetry that is suitable to be read alone or with one or two listeners. Auditorium poetry is a poetry that is suitable to be read in an auditorium, appropriate with a large number of listeners. And next, physical, platonic, and metaphysical poetry. Physical poetry contains a description of the actual reality, what is seen, heard, and felt by the poet. And platonic poetry is a poetry that is completely psychic or spiritual. And then metaphysical poetry is a poetry that is philosophical in nature and invites the reader to contemplate life or divinity. And next, subjective and objective poetry. Subjective poetry is a poetry that expresses ideas, feelings, thoughts, and moods within the poet himself. And objective poetry is a poetry that expresses things outside of the poet himself. And next, concrete poetry. Poetry is visual in nature, whose beauty can be experienced from the point of view. Diaphane poetry, dark and prismatic. Diaphane poetry is one that uses very little imagination. Complete words and language in poetry is similar to everyday language. Dark poetry is poetry that is formed from the dominance or feature of speech so that it becomes dark and difficult to interpret. And prismatic poetry is poetry that describes the poet's ability in feature of speech, diction, and other poetic means, so that poetry can be said to have become. And Parnassian poetry was created with the consideration of science or knowledge and not based on inspiration. Because of the capital in the soul of the poet, inspirational poetry is created based on capital and passion for poetry. Stanza is a type of poetry that still blends its form in line rules, which consists of 8 lines. And next, demonstration poetry. This poem is depiction and reflection of student demonstration. And the last one, allegory in the KBBI. Allegory is a story that is used as a symbol of figuratively of actual human life to educate or explain something, like ideas or values of life, such as wisdom, loyalty, and honesty.
Okay, thank you everyone, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.